Part 1, Parables of Mercy, Forgiveness, the Lost Coin, Luke 15:8-10.
In the tapestry of his teachings, Jesus often used parables, simple stories with profound meanings, to connect with his audience on a deeper level. These weren't just tales, they were windows into understanding complex spiritual truths, relatable narratives that resonated with everyday life. One such story, etched in the annals of time, speaks of a woman burdened by worry, a woman who had lost a coin, a seemingly insignificant object, yet one that held immense value in her eyes. She possessed 10 silver coins, a modest sum representing her savings, her security, perhaps even her future. Each coin was a testament to her hard work and careful planning. But one day, as she counted her precious coins, a chilling realization washed over her. One was missing, vanished without a trace. A wave of panic surged through her as she desperately searched her surroundings. Where could it be? Perhaps it had slipped through the cracks between the old, worn floorboards, disappearing into the dark abyss beneath her home. Or maybe it had rolled away, unnoticed, finding its way behind a heavy piece of furniture, lost in the shadows and dust. The possibilities seemed endless, each more frustrating than the last. Suddenly, her mind became consumed by the lost coin. It was as if the world around her had faded away, and all that remained was the burning desire to recover what she had lost. The missing coin loomed large, casting a shadow over everything else. The fact that she still possessed 9 other coins, a considerable amount, seemed insignificant. Their value paled in comparison to the overwhelming sense of loss she felt for the missing one. She was determined, resolute in her mission. She had to find the one that was gone, the one that was missing, no matter the effort or time it would take. Her focus was unwavering, her purpose clear. With a renewed sense of purpose, the woman embarked on a frantic search, meticulously examining every nook and cranny of her home. She looked everywhere, leaving no stone unturned in her quest to find the lost coin. As dusk began to settle, casting long shadows across the room, she lit a lamp, its flickering flame illuminating the dark corners of her dwelling. She then took a broom and swept the entire house, carefully clearing away dust and debris, hoping to uncover the lost coin hidden beneath. She bent down, peering under every table, her eyes scanning the dimly lit space for any sign of the missing coin. She meticulously searched in every corner, those often overlooked spaces where lost items tend to accumulate. Her determination was unwavering, her search relentless. She refused to give up, driven by the hope that the coin would eventually be found, back in her possession. She did not stop until the coin was back in her hand. And then, in a moment of pure elation, she found it. A wave of joy washed over her as she held the recovered coin in her hand, its silver surface gleaming in the lamplight. She was so happy, overwhelmed with happiness and relief. She immediately called her friends and neighbors, eager to share her joyous news. She wanted to celebrate with her community, to share the joy of finding what was lost with those closest to her. This simple story, passed down through generations, is known as the Parable of the Lost Coin, a timeless tale with a powerful message. Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, used this parable to illustrate a profound truth about value and importance. He wanted to convey how incredibly important even one seemingly insignificant lost thing can be, and the lengths one might go to in order to recover it. As they listened intently, everyone present understood, grasped the underlying message of the parable. They understood how precious that one coin was to the woman, not just for its monetary value, but for what it represented to her. The story may seem small, a brief glimpse into the life of a simple woman, but beneath its surface lies a big meaning, a profound truth that resonates with us even today. It is a story about searching with unwavering determination, about the thrill of finding what was lost, and ultimately, about the immense joy that floods our hearts when what was lost is finally found, a treasure recovered. Why did the woman search so hard for just one coin? After all, she still had 9 more. To her, every coin mattered. Each one was special and valuable. Losing one was not something she could ignore. She did not sit and hope the coin would show up. Instead, she sprang into action. She swept, searched, and shone light into every dark corner. Her determination grew with every minute the coin was missing. The coin was not just money, it was something important to her. When the coin was finally found, her happiness filled the room. She invited others to share her joy. The lost coin was back where it belonged. It was not forgotten, it was wanted. This part of the story shows us that real value does not disappear just because something is lost. The woman's joy reminds us of how much we are worth even if we do not always see it. Sometimes, in the quiet moments of our lives, people feel like the lost coin, misplaced and forgotten. They feel as though their worth has diminished simply because they are not immediately visible or appreciated. We may find ourselves feeling unnoticed, like a face in a crowd, blending into the background, yearning for recognition. It's a feeling of being unseen, as if our presence barely registers, or forgotten, left behind in the rush of life, our contributions overlooked, our presence missed. Maybe we did not get picked for the team, left standing on the sidelines, feeling the sting of rejection, and questioning our abilities. Maybe friends walked away, leaving us feeling isolated and questioning the strength of our bonds. Or we did not do well at something important, a test, a project, a performance, and the disappointment weighs heavily on our shoulders. In those moments, when the world seems to be moving on without us, it is easy to feel like we do not matter, like our presence is insignificant and our contributions are worthless. There are times when everyone feels this way. It's a universal human experience. Children, teenagers, navigating the complexities of growing up, and even adults, who often mask their insecurities and vulnerabilities. It happens at school, amidst the pressures of academics and social circles, at work, where competition and expectations can be overwhelming, and even at home, the place where we should feel most secure and valued. We might think, lost in our own thoughts and insecurities, does anyone see me? Does anyone truly acknowledge my presence and my efforts? Does anyone care? Does anyone truly understand what I'm going through and offer support? The world can feel big, vast, and overwhelming, and we can feel small, insignificant, and lost in its immensity. But the truth is, even in those moments of doubt and despair, feeling lost does not mean we are not valuable. Our worth is inherent and unchanging. Like the coin in the story, misplaced but still precious, our worth does not vanish. It remains constant, a shining gem waiting to be rediscovered. Even if we feel hidden or missed, overlooked or forgotten, we are still important. Our contributions still matter, even when no one seems to notice, even when our efforts go unacknowledged. This is why the parable matters so much. It speaks to the core of our being. It reminds us that being lost, feeling adrift in the sea of life, does not change our value. Our inherent worth remains intact, regardless of our circumstances. We are still precious, a treasure waiting to be unearthed, no matter what challenges we face, no matter what setbacks we encounter. Our value is unshakable. Think about some everyday moments when we might feel unseen. A student in class works hard but never gets called on. A worker at a busy store helps everyone but rarely hears thank you. A friend gives gifts but never receives one in return. These small moments can build up. They make us wonder if anyone sees our efforts. We may start to think we do not matter. It is easy to forget our value when no one notices the little things we do. Yet just because others do not notice does not mean we are not important. Each act of kindness, each bit of effort, adds value to the world. We matter, even in the quiet places. We are like the coin, sometimes hidden, but always valuable. So even on days when no one seems to see us, we can remember the woman in the story and how much joy she felt when she found her coin. Sometimes we rediscover our value in the smallest ways. A kind word from a friend, a smile from a stranger, or finishing a small task can remind us that we matter. These moments are like the woman finding her coin. They light up our hearts. Maybe you helped someone cross the street or listened when a classmate was sad. You might think those things are small, but to someone else they mean the world. The little things we do are full of worth. When we do good, even if no one notices, we are still making a difference. We are valuable, not because of how many people see us, but because of who we are. Each time we are kind, helpful, or honest, we shine like the lost coin in the story. We show that our value does not come from others' applause but from within. Let's delve into some real-life stories, tales that echo the quiet triumphs and subtle impacts we often overlook. These aren't stories of grand gestures or headline-making events, but rather the everyday moments where ordinary people discover their extraordinary worth. There was once a boy named Sam who was always quiet in class. He preferred the company of his thoughts, often lost in daydreams and quiet observations. The hustle and bustle of the classroom seemed a world away from his inner sanctuary. He never spoke up, his voice a mere whisper in a sea of boisterous pronouncements, and he thought no one noticed him. He felt invisible, a shadow flitting through the edges of the classroom, unnoticed and unappreciated. One day his teacher, a kind woman with eyes that saw beyond the surface, asked for help with a project. It was a big undertaking, requiring patience, attention to detail, and a willingness to contribute. Summoning a courage he didn't know he possessed, Sam tentatively offered to help. It was a small gesture, a hesitant step out of his comfort zone, but it was a start. He worked hard, pouring his heart and soul into the task, and the teacher smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached her eyes and thanked him. Her words were simple, but they resonated deeply within Sam's soul. In that moment, Sam realized he was important to the class. His contribution mattered, his efforts were valued, and he was no longer invisible. He had made a difference. Another story is about Maria, a woman with flour-dusted hands and a warm smile. She worked at a bakery, making bread every morning, her days filled with the comforting aroma of yeast and the rhythmic kneading of dough. It was a labor of love, a dedication to her craft. Customers came and went, a constant stream of faces, each seeking the simple pleasure of a warm loaf of bread. Often they were rushed, preoccupied with their own lives, sometimes forgetting to say thanks for the nourishment she provided. One day, amidst the morning rush, a child, no older than 7, shyly handed her a note. Scrawled in crayon, with the endearing imperfections of a child's handwriting, it said, "You make the best bread." And then, a simple, yet profound expression of gratitude. "Thank you for making my mornings happy." Maria's eyes filled with tears, tears of joy, tears of validation, tears of knowing she had touched someone's life in a meaningful way. She knew then with unwavering certainty that what she did mattered. It wasn't just about baking bread, it was about nourishing souls, spreading joy, and making the world a little bit brighter, one loaf at a time. These stories, seemingly small and insignificant, show that even when we feel unnoticed, when our efforts seem to vanish into the background, our actions matter to others. They ripple outwards, creating waves of positivity and connection that touch lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. We may not always hear thank you, the words of appreciation may remain unspoken, but our value is real, intrinsic, and undeniable. When we discover our own worth, when we recognize the unique gifts and talents we bring to the world becomes brighter, filled with possibilities and opportunities for connection. Like the woman who found her coin, we feel joy, a deep-seated sense of contentment and purpose, and can share it with others, spreading warmth and light wherever we go. Every person is special. You are not just a face in the crowd, you have a story, a heart, and a light that shines in its own way. No matter where you are, you matter. You might be good at listening, drawing, or making people laugh. Or maybe you care deeply about animals or the environment. These gifts make you unique. They are like the special mark on the coin. No one else is quite like you. Sometimes the world makes us forget this truth. We focus on what we are not instead of what we are. But remember, just as the woman valued her lost coin, you are valued for who you are. Never believe that you do not count. Your life touches more people than you know. You add something good to the world just by being yourself. It is easy to feel lost in a busy world, but hope is always near. Just like the woman searched for her coin, someone cares about you. You are never truly forgotten. Your value stays the same, no matter where you are or how you feel. When you start to doubt your worth, remember the parable. Remember the joy that came when the coin was found. That joy is for you too. You are wanted, you are needed, and you are loved. Take time to notice the good in yourself. Celebrate small wins and kind moments. Each one is proof that you matter. You are never too lost to be found, and you are never too small to make a difference. The story of the lost coin is not just about money, it is about you. Even when you feel forgotten, you are never worthless. You are precious, unique, and deeply valued. The woman never gave up searching for her coin. In the same way, you should never give up on yourself. You have a place in this world. Your life brings joy and meaning to others. So, if you ever feel lost, remember this.
Please click like, share and subscribe to Parable Spark for more inspiring fables brought to life today. Thank you for watching the whole video.